right, I think we are good to go. All right, looks like we are all set. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is August 5th, 2021. Let's take a look at what we have on the docket today. So we're actually going to start off with the S&P 500 here, and we're going to circle back near the end of the session. We've talked throughout this week about a compressed range in the marketplace that's sort of been defining some of the trading action in highly correlated stocks. So when we look at it through this perspective, we note that the SPY really hasn't done much in about a week, week and a half. We're very balanced, and the market is tentatively waiting on additional information. When we look at this, we can also see that during this time, volatility is sort of in that same paused slash hesitant state. We're not seeing a ton of decline in volatility, and yet volatility has not been crushed back down to lower levels after a major spike. So the marketplace does appear to be, at least in the short term, tentative, undecisive, maybe a bit defensive. And the market as a whole may be waiting on some economic information to move through this range and ultimately to get out of this balance zone that we're currently in. So what could that information be? One potential piece of information that the market may be waiting for is something to do with the employment situation. Most people will know this as non-farm payrolls, and this economic event is sort of categorized with other bits of information that all come out at the same time. So when it comes to the economic situation, market simply may not have enough to move forward with regards to some of the economic recovery. And as we've seen in the past, a lot of times with regards to inflationary metrics or just combining sort of economic health, the market likes to react to those once all the pieces are put together. Um, for today, we do have jobless claims, and that's occurring in approximately 30 minutes. But for tomorrow's session, I believe this same time frame, the 7:30, 8:30 Eastern, the non-farm payroll is going to be potentially that sort of boost that the market needs to break the range. And what's interesting about this is on Fridays, most Fridays, we do see volatility contract. Oftentimes, you'll have things like option expiration occurring on Friday, and any sort of hedges that were placed in that weekly series across the market will have to be adjusted or rolled or essentially maneuvered with new information for the next week. With this potential sort of catalyst that we are likely waiting for, um, one thing to maybe watch tomorrow, specifically after this catalyst, is one, does the marketplace break out of the range? That'll be the most simple technical trigger to kind of see what the market's take on the information is. Two, do we see volatility contract or expand based on that catalyst? Ideally, if we do break higher, then does volatility contract in sort of a normal I would say, bullish tone with a lot less fear being placed on the fact that we have new information? Or do we see volatility remain stagnant or even expand on a bullish breakout? This may give some sense of pause, even though the technical outlook is one of, once again, another breakout in the market. And then obviously, with it being Friday, if we close tomorrow with elevated volatility relative to the past couple of sessions, does that indicate that the market may be pricing in additional range expansion moving forward based on the information that it received? Normally, this would be something you would not see on a Friday. So the counter argument may be something to watch and ultimately prepare for. So those are a couple of ideas based around the fact that the S&P has been very tight, very range bound, and ultimately hasn't moved except for a couple of points back and forth. Some other bits of information that you may want to consider is while the Qs have not been in that same well-defined range, we are seeing the technology sector continue to sort of be the fuel that is keeping this market at the very least elevated, if not a bit healthy. Some of these large market cap names have been sort of carrying the load of the market, and with healthcare at all-time highs and also very strong in the trend, those red flags have not really shown themselves across some of the sector analysis we've been doing. So once again, if tomorrow or if throughout the next couple of sessions we get a catalyst that moves us through some of these well-defined areas that the marketplace has been setting, then ultimately this could sort of dictate the next, I would say, leg of the market. And ultimately, with the trend still being very bullish and very positive, we'd want to see something a little bit more clear cut if things were to change in the opposite direction. Something like a breakthrough of the 20 period on the Qs would be a great example, because not only would we lose a sort of compressed range, you could think of this as almost a wedge, or in the as broadest sense, some sort of pennant structure. If we were to break through this area, that would be a red flag, given that this has already confirmed bullish and so far has not tested back to the downside. And then finally, our sort of wild child IWM, the one that has not been not only performing in the same way, but also structurally has been having some challenges moving through this well-defined range. We know over many sessions that the IWM has a high volume node right around 220. No matter how much data you pull in based on the volume profile, you're going to see that high volume node around 220 to 221. Anytime we are trading below this volume node, the advantage has been to the bulls to buy certain aspects of that dip and to define your risk based on the range that we've been sitting in. Consequently, the same thing has been true of the bears. The best risk to reward scenario has been to sell or short the IWM at the top of the range and essentially target middle or lower end of the range, depending on how, I would say, aggressive, along with how confident you are in that to hit your target. What we're seeing right now is, once again, the IWM is mid-range, which in regards to this range is once again 50-50. Heading higher or heading lower inside of this middle range has often been quite a challenging call or ultimately signal to find. And usually what we've been seeing is reactions off lows getting us to the middle point, lots of balance occurring in between, and then potentially further extension. That hasn't always been the case, as we've seen some of these essentially hold mid-range for long periods of time before extending, along with some of these drawdowns leading to extended bounces back to test upper resistance. So across the board, this market appears to be hesitant for whatever purpose that is. That's up for us to find a reason for the market to move and essentially dictate whether we're going to see more of the same, which is in the case of the Qs and the SPY, more upside, a breakout of this range and continuation of the trend, or will we eventually see that final breakdown that is possible with this sort of hesitancy phase of the market, volatility expansion, and ultimately some additional fear coming into the marketplace. So far, the challenge has always been to sort of try and find moments in time to think about having sort of a bearish tone to the marketplace. Whether or not that occurs is going to require a lot of a confirmation, and something like an economic trigger may be what the market needs to do that sort of extended downside move, which we've rarely seen, but have been quite advantageous to take advantage of. So as we come into the end of this week, and knowing that we have a couple of reports coming out that may dictate the range that we're trading through, allow for that to, one, occur, allow for a breakout or breakdown to occur, and at the very least position yourself accordingly using the trading range and using good risk definition regardless of the direction that you wish to trade against. If you're looking for a downside shot, let the market ultimately try to expand higher and fail, which will very clearly show that sort of false breakout. If you're looking for the market to continue higher, one of your opportunities occurred a couple of sessions ago where we saw the market react off of a swing low, and essentially all of our sectors were not very bearish at the time. That led to a very prominent squeeze through the range, and so far that move has completed, but it was great risk definition based on what we know about the technicals at this time. So with all of that said, some volatility is still occurring throughout some of our higher correlated areas of the marketplace. I've gone ahead and removed some of the previous trend lines and horizontal support zones from this index, but we're noting here that the dollar, at least in the short term, is remaining a bit elevated. And what we're trying to find here is whether or not the dollar is trying to essentially oscillate through an elevated position, trap potential bulls, especially in things like the metals market, and see whether this is going to resolve to the downside, which is sort of the larger thesis with the economic policy and with the market conditions that we've been in, or is this once again going to sort of have this impulsive breakout and trap a lot of people thinking that the dollar is weak? One thing to consider is these larger inflection points back in time. And often the case is, as the dollar extends through these areas, you can sort of think of this as a elevated risk position of the market. If the dollar is in the state, then ultimately the risk definition is a bit high and a bit elevated. But if we see reasons for this to come back through and sort of return to, I would say, depressed or lower levels, then those often can be great buying opportunities for certain markets and certain asset classes. Given that we are in this state again, and given we have potentially some sort of distributive looking pattern, something that often shows weakness in terms of a structure of a marketplace, What we'd like to see is maybe a crack of this level. That can show, once again, that the dollar dominant trend, and that's something that we've seen throughout this entire period of 2020 and 2021, the overall trend will remain dominant. But short term, the hesitancy and the volatility of this marketplace is leading to a lot of short term corrections in correlated assets. So we can see that the weekly trend is looking as if it may change. And what we are hoping to see is for this to break down and have the dominant downtrend of the dollar continue its sort of downtrend leg. But short term, this range has been one of a bit of concern and hesitancy in certain markets. What that looks like short term as well is things like metals are seeing tons of volatility throughout. Gold has not only had this sort of drawdown inside of the impulsive dollar move, but we're seeing gold not necessarily perform in either direction. Same thing with silver. Tons of looks like breakouts, especially on intraday timeframes, and then high volume turnaround bars. This volatility can be seen most clearly intraday. This was something that was on watch yesterday, with gold and silver actually gapping up in the morning, the dollar having a sign of potential weakness, and then giving all of it back throughout the session. Excuse me. We can also see that in some of the minor stocks, which for the purpose of potentially trading equities, these minor stocks are often a vehicle to gain some exposure to this market. And we can see sort of how volatile this has been throughout this period of time. Lots of back and forth, lots of large trend bars, and then ultimately engulfing or potential correction bars throughout. So very choppy, very hard to read, and ultimately not trending, therefore somewhat indecisive inside of ranges. We've also been talking about bonds, and while it is a little bit of a broken record at this time, the bond market is very volatile, and it seems as if, especially intraday, keeping us inside of that market defined range has been something that the bonds have been partly responsible for. We're seeing short-term movement inside of these bond products akin to a stock that is in play. And oftentimes you would not think the bond market is something that can be this volatile due to the capital requirements to move the bonds themselves. But we have seen tons of reactionary moves here, and those reactions have been counter trend in certain periods of time. Oftentimes we'll see sort of that slow grinding higher, and then we'll get days like yesterday where we get sharp pullbacks and essentially not following certain rules about trend, breaking through key support zones. That has led to additional, of course, volatility inside of interest rates. Marketplace is certainly watching these reactions. And as they form, we can simply mark some of these key lows and key highs to see, is this going to eventually end in setting up some major support in terms of these sharp drawdowns. When you think about this market and when you think about what has occurred from high to low, let's just take this sort of reactionary low here. Oops, forgive me, wrong tool. You can use something like a Fibonacci tool to see that currently we are at a 50% retracement in this area. So while the bonds have been volatile, and while we've been mentioning them throughout both short term and sort of macro picture inside of the marketplace, this correction here is sort of a standard pullback against what was originally a very sharp counter trend move that occurred, very impulsive and very, I would say, highly dictating of what sectors and what focus the market had in terms of risk on, risk off assets, growth versus inflationary, things of those natures. So will the bonds stabilize here at what is a normal 50% pullback? And if they do stabilize, once again, are we going to see a return to our inflationary names? Ones that during this pullback have been quite resilient. We're not seeing the types of corrections in something like financials, albeit the bond market has corrected by approximately 50% from low to high. The financials have actually stabilized quite well in this range and are even pressing against the upper bounds of it. Counter to that, energy forming once again a more distributive structure in the marketplace with potential for this support zone to be a neckline of something like a head and shoulders. Once again, though, if bonds are done correcting, if we see bonds return to sort of a stable position, or at the very least start to pull back down, leading to interest rates moving higher, can energy buck the trend and essentially trap those who are thinking that this market is heading lower? And that's with the context of crude, if it loads, with the context of crude, once again, highly volatile and ultimately potential to break trend. This is the second time we've violated the trend line, and we've seen sharp selling volume throughout the breaks of this trend line. This is why the type of analysis that we've done to mark these key highs has been so critical. It's not only to know where the marketplace is expecting to react, but it's to avoid what is essentially the moments in time that are hard to read. We're keeping weekly trends, we're keeping 20 period MA, but short-term trading throughout this time frame has been more challenging. So if you're interested in just capitalizing on profit and maybe waiting for this marketplace to give clear signals, the reason we did this type of analysis is to find those moments in time. And that certainly has been the case with energy, regardless of which ETF you're looking at or which stock you're looking at. These corrections have been noticeable and notable in terms of one of the strongest sectors in the past. Keep in mind that this is still in the context of a 20% correction, which by some definitions may be hitting that sort of crash definition. So this is notable pullbacks. It is not, I would say, a typical drawdown if you're going down 20% or more. So moving forward, you think, overall, I'm kind of looking at what information can we gather for the rest of the week, and can the market sort of make, quote unquote, a decision for us to take advantage of? Are we going to continue being range bound, or can we see a shift occur? And is that shift going to be something that dramatically changes the tone of the market? Obviously, with bonds, if they are beginning to bottom and we see a stabilization there, we'll have to ask the question of whether or not growth and tech will continue its climb. That would be seen in something like the NASDAQ, something like the XLK, which has been very strong, or even just high growth names starting to either stabilize or potentially profit take in these ranges. Will we see a return to inflationary strength and getting back on trend, which is the larger macroeconomic theme that has been the case over the past year, year and a half. Something like XLF and XLI are the ones to watch. I'm also pretty interested in materials due to the sizable correction that they encountered. Once again, not in that 20% range, but fairly close. And the volatility has been quite attractive back to the upside. Will we see something like the China names, which we haven't been discussing quite as much since last week? A lot of them have either stabilized, and in the case of the larger names, have even reported earnings. These quote unquote capitulation lows, which so far have held decently, will this sort of set the low moving forward? And will this be some sort of weekly turnaround point in the larger context of this marketplace? If that's the case, then emerging markets may be the next place to focus. And ultimately, we'll look for correlated indexes or ways to sort of evaluate whether strength is returning to these marketplaces after what has essentially been sharp selling pressure and lots of sort of negative news and just sort of overtone in the market. Those questions, unfortunately, I do not have an answer for, but we're seeing once again the tone and the setup inside of the charts lead us to those potentials. And it's all about whether we want to focus on the same things we've been focusing on, which if you're an intraday trader, you've been looking at things like semiconductors. You've been looking at things like SMH breaking out to all-time highs. Hopefully you've been looking at healthcare, which regardless of how you're trading this has just been a trending sector, and you can find tons of stocks that are performing in that sector, whether it be more biotech, more related to sort of the overtone of the economy, along with some specific catalysts that have driven these even higher. We even see the likes of something like Invac starting to break out prior to earnings, and just large market cap names inside of healthcare moving to all-time highs, essentially leading this market along with technology and high market cap names. So regardless of your strategy, your focus, always be looking for, do I want to stay the course or do I want to change based on what the market is telling me? These questions don't have to be something you decide daily. Oftentimes it takes weeks for this to sort of develop and form. But in light of the bullish context of this market, do you also want to hedge in the case where the market quickly adjusts and we see sharp corrections as things start to shift? That's going to be the case where something like tech takes a larger than normal correction, and the likelihood that if tech is correcting, financials, industrials, inflationary type sectors need to recover, or are we going to see more of a correlated correction in the market? That would be, of course, if we see a correction at all. So be prepared for either scenario. The market is in this balance zone, which gives us time as traders, investors, core, swing, whatever your style. It allows us to put those plans together, to review data in a stable state, and essentially be ready for multiple scenarios. That's the purpose of analyzing this data in the first place. It's not just to have that goody two-shoe feeling throughout every morning. It's actually to put your plan together and to be prepared in the case where you're wrong. So with that said, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Market. A quick reminder that tomorrow we will not have Engineering the Market. So this is going to be the final session for this week. Hence why we've looked across some of the indexes and ETFs and kind of discussed the game plan for the next couple of days. If you've liked this analysis, if you believe that this analysis has some effect on your trading plan, your style, where to focus, then use this information and spend the next couple of days getting your plan together. Market is giving us a calm before some potential storm. We just don't know whether the storm is going to be in the same tone to the same direction, or will we see something a little different this time? Obviously, TBD on that, and we'll kind of see how the rest of the week shakes out. So, y'all trade safe today. Stay tuned for pre-market prep. We have an interesting gap list this morning, but a couple of names are starting to light up, and hopefully into this economic catalyst, we'll kind of see the market give us clearer signals as to whether or not it wants to continue moving or change. And we'll be ready for that change regardless. So trade safe, and we'll talk more next week.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, brother. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. All right, guys, let's get to it. Our gappers list this morning, as you can see, very active on both sides of the field. So we'll get into what's going on there. A couple of low floats in between here. So we'll see what's happening there. Some good ones that's been incredibly active, actually. Hood is on here down 7%. We saw how wild that was yesterday, and a couple other ones that we'll get into also. Yesterday's action starting with ATVI. This was the first one on our list and actually had a good opening, and that's probably about it. Thor called this out right up here when he had a pullback towards the VWAP in here. Right over here, and I actually took that trade with him, and man, that turned out real nice, guys. Look at this drop here. Does come back and retest the VWAP and slants back down, but really, this was the move. Even if you were thinking pre-market, the rejection up here, you could have got in there, or if you had the rice and a little bit of rising double action, right? Gets rejected here at 84 and slams down. From there on, it was just pure chop, guys. So not all that great there. Neo, you know what? I didn't pay too much attention to Neo, and I'm glad I didn't. Look at this. This does not look great at all. Very choppy in here, so nothing happening there. Uber was nice here. Nice opening range breakdown. I did see this one, but since I was in ATVI, I didn't really trade it. But you can see a beautiful drop at the beginning. And again, this is the stuff we're talking about in August, where you get a lot of this, right? A lot of chops. Just that first initial drop or pop could be great, and then just go sideways here. Does hit the VWAP and then drops down again, but you do have to survive or wait for that to happen there. AMD continues to be a great trade. Here we go. AMD continues to just crush it here, guys. Hitting 122.50 now. Beautiful start to the open here. It does continue the 9 moving average, and then from there it drops to the VWAP and it just gets choppy for the rest of the day. But the initial pop here and the drop here was real nice there. GM actually was really good as well, guys. Beautiful drop. It did drip slowly, just at a beautiful downtrend with the 9 and the 20. Again, GM, like Ford and some of these other companies, you just really got to stick in there and be patient, right? So if you're that type of trader, great. I am not. I cannot sit there and wait this long. It's painful sometimes. AMC, and it also depends what type of trader you are, right? I'm the type of trader I like to look at the trade. Some traders can set a range order or limit orders and just kind of leave it, and that's fine. But man, if you like to look at the trade, yeah, this can be very painful. Here's AMC. AMC, beautiful drop yesterday, man. Definitely, I didn't trust it to drop this much, and especially not to lose this level. By this time, we were already out of the ATV trade, ATVI trade. But man, I just didn't trust it to lose this level and do it and do what it did here. So that was a nice drop there. Jared had an amazing reversal here towards I think he got it to towards 31 if I remember correctly. So he got a nice reversal there. Again, beautiful play there off the 30 level that was set here. So pretty nice. And that's what we had yesterday. So let's get into our market, guys. What do we have coming out for today? My man Norm, you're on mute.
Sorry, man. We just had our economic data for the day drop all at 8:30. We had initial jobless claims, which came in as expected. Continuing claims came in actually much lower than expected. I think it was 2.9-ish million versus like 3.2 expected. So not sure what happened there. And then trade balance at 8:30. So not really doing much as far as the market goes with that. We've got a slight gap up, both the Qs and SPY up about 0.25%. So just bobbing along here, consolidating near all-time highs, still in the middle of earnings season, yet we've got, like you said, we've got a decent day here and there, but we're still kind of in the sleepy time of the market.
Absolutely, my friend. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what we have today on our gappers list, starting with, again, quite a lot on both sides. I'm only going to do the top 5 or so on both sides, and then we'll give it to you guys to kind of point out anything good out there. Leading the way, we have SCR. SCR's got a nice pop here of 70%. A little bit, not a low flow, but 29 million shares flow could be the reason why it's moving like this. Doesn't look great right now, guys, the pre-market. So you got 666,000, up 64%. I don't know if this is a buyout. Volume is a little bit lighter, but it just doesn't look good right now. So we'll skip it for now. If it gets better, we can take a look at it later. But for now, it's not looking great pre-market wise. Again, the pop is amazing. I do like that there. But outside of that, I don't see anything else good on it, unless there's an amazing catalyst that we can take.
It's a buyout. Pin's
it's
buying
a buyout.
Them.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why Pin's gapping down and they're gapping up. It is cash and stock deal. So it could move a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't look like it's really going too much.
Yeah.
Not the best of catalyst, even though there is some stock involved.
Yeah, usually that does not trade very well. Here's
No.
ENSC this morning. They are up 41%. Very nice. 4.7 million shares traded. That looks good. Pre-market action looks good as well. I like this pop here. It does drop down a little bit, but it's got some good movement to it with some decent volume. So it could be interesting. It is sitting at 9.6, guys. So you got to be very, very careful with this one here. Also, recent IPO, right? And when you say recent, guys, we're talking about something that's has not been open for months on end. This is only open last month. So let's see here. Dropping
It's
down has not has not done well since it opened up, though. By the
no,
way,
it's a biotech. They have some patent news, so
yeah. All right, we'll see where that goes. That could be decent. Hopefully, the positive news they've been looking to get back into their opening price point at least. We'll see. Good pre-market action, great volume, popping up 40%. That looks very nice this morning. D-Dog here. It is up 14%, hitting all-time highs, looks like as well. This thing is just running. Yeah, I believe it is all-time highs, at least 52-week high. Ah, nice. So this is a good one here. This stock, guys, does not trade very well today.
I was about to hop in and say the same exact thing, brother. Yeah, like you said, it can be tough to trade. It bounces around, moves around a lot. Even if it seems like a straight line at the end of the day, it chops back and forth on its way there.
Yeah, it's just very, very choppy. Spread is usually not great, even at the market open. We'll be
60
excited to
cents
see.
right now.
Yeah, and again, trust me, we won't get any much better. It'll get better, but not by much at the market open. We'll put it on here, guys, so we can take a look at it later. But it's not one that I'm looking to trade, even though this looks great right now. It's a brutal stock to trade. Envis this morning, they are, what we got going on here? They're up 13%, 547,000 shares traded. Pre-market actions, it's not great, guys. It's got volume, not a great pre-market action. The daily's getting a little bit of a pop here after a couple of red days in a row. It could be okay. I don't like it as much, but we'll put it as a possible for now. ZY this morning, they are this. Oh, this one that dropped like 100 something, like 70%, and
it was nasty.
Yeah, pre-market was.
That's what happens when you come out and say you have no business for the next 2 years and your CEO's fired. Like, how is it? I don't know how it's $5.
Exactly. So again, nothing good here, guys. Even after the bell, pre-market, you had a nice little drop here. So if you caught some pre-market action, great. At the market open, you just didn't get anything good here. I don't expect anything good today, neither. So I'm gonna stay away from that one this morning. I'm gonna do one more. We'll stop here. BCRX today, they are up 8%, 937,000 shares traded. Ugly pre-market action. And when I say ugly, just look at the chop that we're getting here. I don't like the way these candles are forming. It is getting, I'll give it to them here. It is getting better from here. From 8 on, you're starting to see some better pre-market action. But this year, this is not good. I don't like the way that is looking there, right? That's bad pre-market action. You got this one pop here. You're going sideways. Very long wicks on the candles. That's not nice. Daily also doesn't look great. And we've seen this stock before, guys. It just doesn't day trade, intraday trade very well. And sometimes part of that is the volume. Unless they get exceptional volume here that's below either or their regular average out of the water, you're not going to see anything great out of this, right? So not at least the way we trade what we're looking for. We'll stop.
They've got a catalyst, but I agree it's garbage. I mean, they had earnings, so they've got a catalyst, but yeah, it looks like trash to me.
Yeah, I agree. So pre-market earnings coming out, that's where you're getting some volume in here. Let's take a look what's gapping down this morning. FSLY, we haven't seen this one in a while. Oh, look at that. Nice drop of 21%.
Hey, brother, I gotta reset the audio bridge real quick. We got some people saying the chat room is a little bit of funkiness. So check your end. I'll reset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us just a second on YouTube over there. You won't have any issues.
Shouldn't affect you. We'll see here. Just make sure everything is good on our end. Yeah, so YouTube, you shouldn't have any chop, but just confirm, make sure there's nothing else going on here that we need to work on.
All right. No, you just got to turn the room back on and see how we do.
All right, here we go. All right, sound is good on YouTube. Let's check the chat here. Here we go. It might force me to reset here. Let's see. All right, there we go. Chat room just confirmation.
Hopefully that's better.
You can hear us better and less chop.
All right. Let's get moving again.
All right, here we go. All right, let's get cracking here, guys. FSLY, this one down nicely, 22%, 950. Do love this drop, Norm. Who's getting fired today? Post earnings.
I think they had earnings, but I mean, you got to remember the massive internet outage that took place that they were at the heart of.
Yes.
When they had their earnings call last night, I guess they talked about some customers running the other direction from them because of that. So
it's a big drop for them this morning, guys. We had fun with this at some time ago when it was trading decent. Today could be one of those days. I'm going to add it on here. I do love this drop. Volume is decent. FSLY, we'll put that on here for today, down 22% with almost 1 million shares traded. Let's take a look at FVRR this morning. Fiber. So they are. It's not easy stock to trade, by the way. Volume is very, very light on this stock. We've seen it before, gap up and down.
Yeah, its average volume 609,000 shares a day. It's an Israeli company.
Yeah.
Generally, not stocks out of Israel aren't super easy to trade. Don't get a lot of volume. They move around funkily. So, I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm not gonna add this one, guys, because I know I'll add it on here and I will even look at it because it is just it trades so thin when it comes to the market open, even with this news and even them down being 20%. I want to give a space for something else that I'm actually going to watch and trade. Etsy this morning, they are again another one. And again, guys, we know this because we've been doing this for so long, Norm. Every single morning, every day, building this watch list. You start to know the tickers that just don't trade well. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. There can be
sometimes Etsy does, but it's not consistent like some of the other stuff we have. They did have earnings, so they definitely got a catalyst. I know there were some concerns about new customers coming in and such, so it's what's hitting them 12% this morning. But who knows?
Yeah. We'll see. I'll put it as a possible here, guys. Secondary, but we'll have to see how it trades here. You gotta be careful. Roku this morning dropping 7.6. Wow, taking a bit of a hit here. 103,000 shares traded. I am definitely going to watch Roku. Earnings last night last night,
yeah.
So Roku here, we'll put that on deck, guys. It can trade very well. I haven't traded Roku or looked at it in a long, long time. Hopefully today they can provide something good for us. Their pre-market action tends to be a little bit choppy at times. They still can put in a very good trading day. So we'll see what Roku does today. Last one on the gapping down list, we'll look at Hood. They are down 6.7, guys, but don't get me wrong. This stock is very strong. Look at the last couple of days, what we've done here, right? We've gone from 35-ish over to 2 days ago, 47. And yesterday, obviously, we saw the madness over to 85, and now we're hanging around 65. So although we're down, the trend here, the small trend, right, it's very, very strong. So be careful with this one, guys. It can move quite a bit, $1 or $2 very, very easily here. So definitely in play. It is not a low flow stock, though, neither, right? This thing is sitting at 424. Not sure how accurate that is, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many shares that they, I didn't pay attention to the IPO, so I don't know how many shares they released. That does seem high.
Yeah, it does seem very high for the way they're moving. But we'll put it on here, guys. They're definitely in play. You guys already know. You saw what happened yesterday. Got to be careful with this one. Norm, anything you like that we have not touched on?
No, I'm still looking, brother.
All right, excellent. Let's get over to
Uber. Did you look at Uber?
Oh, no, we did not.
It's further down the list. They had earnings last night. They're down 4-ish%. So
they are getting slammed here, guys. So down to the 4.2. They didn't have a good day yesterday, and actually yesterday, I think they were decent yesterday as well. So they traded pretty nice there. Yeah, definitely gonna add Uber, guys. Great volume right now. Uber could be a hit or miss, right? It can do very well, could be very choppy. But I do like this drop. I do like the volume we're getting here. So yeah, I'll add Uber to the list today as well. Might not stay maybe on our main list, maybe a secondary. But we'll keep it on there for now. All right, let's start with you, Fabio. You're giving us Fubo, not Fubo, Facebook. You're giving us Facebook here. This morning, they had a great day yesterday. All right, so we have Facebook here. There's just a couple of letters missing there, one or two. So we have Facebook here, and not a whole lot of volume. I do see what you're looking at there. The pop from yesterday, maybe a continuation in here. We do have something on the daily that we can go for. Not sure, man. It seems kind of light on volume, though, right? I'm not gonna add it on because I know one of you guys will be looking at it, and we know Facebook, right? If it comes up in our list, we can take a shot at it. I'll take a look at your other two here, Sophie. See, now this looks a little bit nicer. Got a nice consolidation here happening over the last couple of weeks. Looks like we're trying to break out of that. And the pre-market action looks okay. Getting better after 8 a.m. here. Volume looks decent. Yeah, I'll ask Sophie. This looks good. I like the daily on Sophie. Snap. What do we got going on Snap here? Snap is, yeah, similar to Facebook. You had the nice pop yesterday. Not much going on this morning. Very, very light on volume. That can change, but I'm not going to add that for now. So if it gets better with volume, then we can definitely take a look at it. But I see what you're looking at, guys. Daily here looks very nice. Possible continuation on this one. Heading on down, what we have, David from Connecticut, you're giving us Futu. Oh, no matter okay, got you. You're not actually giving us that, but you're just mentioning Futu. Yeah, not really in play. KPTI this morning. Let's take a look there. KPTI. What do we have here? KPTI. Wow, beautiful drop on KPTI. What's the float on this one? KPTI. We are looking at 65, so not bad. Beautiful drop here. I do like the down 18% this morning. Daily's very light on volume, guys, though. Very, very light. So I don't like that. The daily's not great in regards to that. This drop
They had
is
earnings
nice.
this morning. This one was in play a little while back, I believe. I vaguely remember it, but
How did it, do you remember how I traded or no?
no,
Probably. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It was on our list. I didn't trade it.
Gotcha. Let's keep it on here. Let's come back and see what that looks like. PFE, you guys know how I feel about that one. I think there's better stocks to trade at times. Does it look good? Yeah, this looks like it has some potential. We'll put it as a secondary here. Nvidia's been very nice to trade. As you can see here, popping up nicely. If you like to trade this type of stock, right? This stock is not easier stock to. It's not easy stock to trade. Kind of like the Microsofts, these bigger companies. They trade a little bit different, but there is opportunities if you have the right strategy for them. The 168,000 up almost 1%. Looks good, guys. Like it wants to break out of here. Now I'm not a big fan of Nvidia, so I'm going to put it as a secondary for you. This could be on your main list. I know probably Mike and John probably have that one on their list. They trade that one a lot, and they're very good at it. All right, we looked at Snap, Jayden. Thank you. Durbo is giving us WU.
No volume.
Yeah,
Bad spread.
no volume at all, guys. So we'll skip on that one. Heading on down, AMC. Yeah, I think AMC is worth watching. It's got a, oh, look at that. It's in the green. Very, very nice. Nathan, thank you so much for the $5 donation.
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Appreciate that. We got some good information for you later from Norm. He's going to give us some updates there from last month. But thank you so much for that $5 bomb. Really appreciate it very, very much. Again, remember, guys, every super chat donation is matched by Andrew dollar for the charity of the month. So thank you for that. All right, AMC definitely in play, looking real nice. Just a great short yesterday. I wish I would have taken that, but again, just didn't trust it. Amazing. Let's see what it does today. Already great volume. Trying to get in the green. Maybe recover a little bit here this morning. AZN. I've seen this one before. Doesn't really
Picked
trade
a
very
worse.
well.
That one's worse than PFV. All the volume of that 1.5 million is in that block trade. It's a foreign stock. Trades absolutely terribly.
Yeah. No good. No go for that. Let's head down over to Edwin is giving us Apple. Let's take a look here. Apple this morning. It's just been stuck in a range, man. I think it's gonna end up trading well. I just don't know if today is the day or tomorrow or next week. But it's just been stuck here, and I don't like this as much as we like some of the other stuff that it was doing a couple of weeks back. Right here, it was trending very well, getting some good movement. So I'm not a fan of it. Even with the volume, it got great volume yesterday and didn't do a whole lot. So that's the only reason I'm not going to add it. But again, we know Apple, right? Like always, if it comes up on our scanners, if the market is trending in one direction, Apple is very good at following whatever the SPY does or the Qs. It can be real strong that way. mRNA has a good pre-market action today. They got some good volume, 1 million here.
And earnings.
earnings. All right, we'll add it on to a secondary. It's not an easy stock to trade though. It never
No,
was, even at a low price.
no.
You know,
Well,
yeah, it
even
never
when it was
was.
like $80, it was
Yeah,
still
yeah,
tough.
yeah. So it hasn't gotten any easier. There are definitely in play, guys. Just be very careful on how you trade this one. All right, we'll stop here, guys. I know it's a lot that we can go through, but I think we got a decent list for this morning so far. Let's get over to our announcement. We got some good stuff to go over today that I want to spend some time on. Actually, give me 1 second. I might not have loaded a new sheet. Just 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I get this right. In the meantime, as I'm doing this, guys, on YouTube, if you have not done so already, hit that thumbs up. It means a whole lot to us. It does help us out quite a bit there. It takes you 2 seconds, but it means a whole bunch to us. So thank you for that. And if you're first time here, consider subscribing. We do this every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. In the morning. All right, we'll load this new slides up and we'll get this over to you guys. Here we go.
All right, guys. So Dr. Reed's Trading the Open webinar should be available soon if it's not already next week. This is not the new one, Carlos.
It's not. Hold on. Let me check here. 1 second. We'll make sure we have this here. No, it's not. It's not the new one. Hold on a second, guys. We want to get the new one because there's some good information
It's
there.
important.
You. Yeah, it's important. So we will get this right.
Give us just a second, guys.
Yep.
Sorry for the delay.
Yes. We'll download this as quickly as possible. Here we go.
D Miles, Fastly's looking like your cup of noodles. Fastly, you got to remember, Fastly had that big internet outage that we just mentioned. That was back in June. That caused a lot of issues. Customers running from them. All right, you got it.
Yep, it's coming up right now. Here we go. That's the new one.
All right, guys. Next week we've got Mike on Tuesday for the Success webinar talking about fundamentals of risk controls. That'll be next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Dr. Reed's webinar should be up soon if it's not already, as I mentioned. Then we've got a town hall with Dr. Katz next Wednesday, 8 p.m. This is the town hall format that we do every now and again. We'll have two traders from the chat. He'll be Dr. Katz will kind of moderate a discussion with them about their trading journey. All right, here we go. Here's the charity info for July. Daniel, thank you for the $5. So here we go. I can't read it with that up there. All right. So in honor of Peter and all his work in mental health charities and such, we've discussed he lost his sister, unfortunately, this some time back, but we made $259 in July. Andrew's going to match that dollar for dollar, and we are going to donate it to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So, anyway, thank you all very much for making that possible. This month we are doing autism research, and I will get some more info. We'll announce this for a few days with the amount in case somebody misses it, and then we'll give info for what's going on this month. So anyway, thank you guys. Glad we're able to do this. All right. Remember, trade of the day, trade of the week. Take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up with entries and exits, of course, and then have any commentary you can to describe the trade. Tag at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and out at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family. Day trading stock market will announce the winner each afternoon for the trade of the day, and then all those will be eligible for trade of the week, which the team will vote on over the weekend and announce on Monday. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you access to the chat room for 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, does not auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. You actively have to go choose to become a member or remain a member. And then if you'd like to take part in the summer discount promo, you can use the promo code SUMMER40. It'll get you 40% off the annual elite membership.
All right, thank you very much. Here we go. All right, guys, let's get to it. Just was looking at space here. Someone was talking about it in the chat room. Let's get to it, guys. Let's fine tune this list. But first, Ben, thank you so much for the super
Thank you,
chat.
Ben.
Appreciate you very, very much.
Thank you,
Again,
K. Brian.
yes, this is
You
all
guys
going to
rock.
help quite a bit, guys. So thank you. And again, keep hitting that, and we're gonna hopefully get Andrew broke. He's not trading this week, so let's see if
You're
it's
gonna
week.
have to, yeah. You're gonna have. He's in Colorado. He got seduced by the mountains and won't be here. But you're gonna have to be careful that nobody throws up any nudies or whatever for the profile pic over there, and you pop it up on our screen or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I can
Now
check.
that they know
Yeah,
you're doing this, you got to be careful.
yeah. It's not automated, so don't send something that might not get up there. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for the super chat, Ben, NK, Brian. Appreciate that very, very, very much. All right, guys, let's get to it. A space here. I was just looking at that one, but we have FSLY looking very good, guys. Again, very active. Love this drop that we're getting here. Good volume, down 21%. Here we have Roku. Roku is also has a nice drop. I like that one. We'll keep that there. Hood, guys, definitely in play. Very, very active. We saw the madness yesterday. Today already setting up to give us another incredible day up or down. We don't know yet, but it is going to be very active. We know that for sure. Uber, guys, I love this drop on Uber today. Again, they could be a hit or miss, more of a possible, but I like them this morning. This is a big drop for them, 4%, losing some levels of support here. That's good. KPTI is decent, and AMC is definitely in play, bouncing back lovely here, 30 bucks when the lows were all the way down to 28, so pretty good stuff there. All right, secondary list looks good. We'll go through that in a second. Trying to check if there's anything that's gotten any better that looks really exciting. Envis trying to get to the VWAP here and get above that. D-Dog looks great, guys, but again, just very difficult to trade. We'll keep it here. Etsy, another one that could be a hit or miss. Today could be, it could be a little bit better. And Nvidia also looking good for a possible breakout. So for breakouts, I like stocks that are slightly above the level that they're looking to break out. If they're stuck in, for example, if Nvidia was stuck here, it probably wouldn't be as great, right? But when they start to push up against the level they're trying to break out of, this one already kind of broke out of this 250. So we might have missed that breakout opportunity, but we got to see if it's going to catch on some fire here and get going towards this level that we have, right? It's all-time highs, I believe, around 210. So we'll see. So for example, we're talking about space, just to give you an idea. This one here is just stuck between too many levels for a breakout right now, right? Look at the chop, it's been stuck in the last couple of days. Now we have great levels on here. If we start pushing up against this 32 and this 33 with some volume, with some good price action, then that could be nice for a breakout. But right now, I wouldn't put this list this one on a breakout opportunity just yet. All right, guys, I think what we have here looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get some levels ready here. So FSLR, we'll start with the high of the pre-market over at 35.95. A little bit higher there. 36 is good. Over here, the low of the pre-market, 34.29. So we'll throw a level there as well and fine tune this a little bit more. I'm going to put this right up here. That's good. And then slightly above that, we don't have anything for some time. Let's go over to the left over here. We do have something here in May. The bottom of this all-time low for FSLY, 39.60. Let's go to the left a little bit more. See what we got going on over here. Wow, we haven't been here in quite some time. Definitely not all-time lows, as you can see here, but we do have some levels that we can mark down towards the bottom. We have not been to this 34 level since 2020 May, right? So 2020 May, you can see that there. If we were to lose that, I do see a level here, 31.13, and I do see another one over here at 26.94. So those are only two levels towards the bottom there. And oh, we need at least one more towards the top, maybe. Let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back and see something above that 35.96, which is the high of the pre-market. So right here, this is your high of your pre-market right now, right there. Let's see if we can find something in between here. No, I don't see anything great. You know what? Let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Maybe right here. 37.91. Again, not a huge big support resistance, but it's something to have in. There's a good midpoint. do not put a lot of weight into it like you would on a 39.60, a 35.96, or the one down here, 34.26, right? So just be mindful of that. So that is FSLY moving around, some good volume at the moment, down 22%, a little bit of just hugging the VWAP right now. We'll see where this is going to go. Here's Roku. Roku also taking a big hit this morning, down nicely 7.7. Low of the pre-market at 382. The high of the pre-market right at 389. 389 will be, oops, looking at the wrong area, right over here, 389. So we'll throw a level there as well. And then it's around outside of that range towards the top, we do have a nice level here, a couple of days at 397. You can see that there, great area of support. You can mark this one here, but again, I think it's pretty close to the pre-market highs. You could mark it if you want, 391. This one here is a great level though, right on there, that 397. Towards the bottom, guys, if we were to lose this low of the pre-market, 33.82, which at the moment doesn't seem like it wants to, as it's pushing up against the pre-market highs. Great level of resistance here that can now become support. This is going to be over at your 369 right on there. I think that's good for Roku right now. Again, pre-market is not great, guys. So if you're looking at this, yes, pre-market doesn't look great right now, but Roku tends to do that. I think at the market open, we might get a better idea on how this thing is going to trade. Here is Hood. Hood at the moment, low of the pre-market, 60. The high of the pre-market above the previous day close at 71.90. I think those are the only two levels you need to add. The highs and lows from the last two trading days got you covering here. You can go back. There were some levels yesterday in the action here, so you can go back into yesterday's intraday action. Look at this 59. That's good already, right? That's creating. Why is it? What? Oh, okay. I see what's happening there. You can put another one here at a 58. So 58.14, 59. You can see some areas of support happening there. Nice area of resistance with a breakout. So I like this one, 63.40, right? You can see the resistance here. Try to act as support right on here. Became resistant, more resistance here, and then boom, the breakout finally after getting higher lows on the way up here, squeezing into that, and then a beautiful breakout there. So that's 63.40. It's a nice one. I'll definitely keep an eye on that one. So that is Hood right now, guys. Pre-market action, very, very active. As low as 59, climbed up to 66 just in a matter of a couple of minutes here. Definitely a good one today in play. Here's Uber this morning. Again, type of hit or miss type stock, but I think today could be interesting. Down 4%. Low of the pre-market sitting at a 39.63. The high of the pre-market over at 40.36 will slam two levels there. Then outside of that window, we haven't been here in quite some time, guys. Look at this. Going back to end of last year, we'll zoom in right in this area. And what do we have here? Maybe over here, 38.97 is a good one towards the bottom, right on there. And then you have a nice big gap here. We'll go to the left just a little bit, and we have 38.34 towards the bottom. So we got some levels towards the bottom there, just in case this thing does decide to drop any further. Very active this morning, 1.7 million shares traded. KPTI, beautiful drop here, down 19%. I think this was earnings, correct? KPTI, yeah, earnings this pre-market. KPTI low of the pre-market 624. We do have shares for short, which is nice. Pre-market action is not great. Again, I haven't seen how this trades, so I'm not sure if this is typical of them to have this type of pre-market action. What I do see though, their daily is very light on volume. I am seeing that here. Again, as much as I like the drop, this might be a possible really. And when's the last time we've been down here? It's been some time. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 2019. All right. So 2019. Look where we're stopping. That's 628, right? Nice area. I mean, it looks like a lot of people went back to look for this level here. Nice area of resistance here that now is becoming a little bit of support in the pre-market. That is exactly where we found some kind of support and stopped the bleeding there. Another level here, 666. That's a good one. And over here we have another level down at a 543. So got two levels to the top and bottom on this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one as a main one though. I think everything's looking a little bit light here as far as volume. So yeah, I'm going to move this down. KPTI. I think we can find something better. Maybe a top possible. I love to drop on a stock like that. You're going to get some type of movement hopefully. But yeah, I think it's more of a possible. Let's finish up on AMC here. AMC, amazing recovery at the moment, dropping down as low as 20. 28.50. Right now, climbing its way up to 30.82 is the high of the pre-market. I'm not going to mark that now because that's going to keep going. Looks like there. We'll see towards the top. There's a level coming up here over at 31.11. Let's see if we can get to that. If we cannot, then we'll mark down the low, the high of the pre-market. At the moment, towards the top, guys, pretty much cover. We just added 31.11 based off of this. You do have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. And then towards the bottom, below this 28, we'll go back into the May and June madness here that we had. Below 28, we do have a daily level at 24. I know it sounds far out, but you can actually hit that very easily with AMC the way it's moving. You also have another, somewhat a minor support resistance right on here. Got a 2 days opening and closing right on there at 26.24. I'll definitely mark that down. You want to have some kind of level towards the bottom there in case this thing does change direction quickly and wants to go for a nice dive here. So AMC in play, guys. Right now, pre-market action is crushing it at the moment, up 2.7 from being down almost 3 something. All right, that is our list. Let's take a look at our moderators lineup, see what we have going on there. Let's resize this. Let's turn this off over here. As I'm doing that, guys, if you haven't done so already, appreciate you guys hitting that thumbs up over on YouTube. It does help us a whole lot to grow this channel. So thank you for that. If you have not been here before, consider subscribing. I guarantee you're going to have some fun with us every morning. Here we go. What do we have here? We have Mike. As I knew he was going to watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks very good this morning, and Mike trades that one very, very well. NVIDIA, Tesla, mRNA. Dima is looking at Envis, Uber, AMD, Apple. Thor is looking at Roku, FSLY, Envis, AMD. Secondary list, NEO and Uber. Eamon is looking at Baidu, PDD, CGC. Tiffany's looking at FSLY, Envis, AMC. And secondary list for her is going to be Hood, mRNA, and NVIDIA this morning. So pretty good list there, guys, as we get set up to go live this morning. So, all right, that is what we have. Brian and Thor will be trading live in a couple of minutes. We've done a little bit early today, so we have time to look at some stuff, right? What do we have going on? I see people saying Hood is moving. What's going on with Hood? Yeah, it's definitely in play, guys. Definitely in play. Again, just be very, very careful. This thing can move very wild. What's the other one that was crazy yesterday? BYSI, I think it was. Here's another one that was also insane yesterday. This is not coming up on our gappers list because I believe the ATR might be very low, on its regular trading. But you can see here, this thing is definitely in play. Guys, we have shares for short on this. Just be very careful. I know a lot of members did very well yesterday. They took this short. In the pre-market around $40. So nice job. Well done. Just be very cautious with this one. All right, Peter's coming in with some IPOs for today. I'm going to just show you this. I'm not going to read that. Here it is. IPOs for today and a couple of SPACs this morning. So he'll call those out if he's around the chat room, which he usually is, when they open up and become active. So there we go. All right, cool. Over on YouTube, you guys are giving us, don't spam the chat, Raphael. I just won't look at it. I just won't look at that ticker. So I'll just give you a heads up now, but I'll look at it now. It'll be nice, but yeah, don't do that. It's not going to work long term. Here, Matt, yeah, you're getting a pop here. What is going on here? What's the stock here? What we got going on? 37 million shares flow. Yeah, you're getting some action here. This needs to develop though. We'll have to see. It has 3 million shares traded. It's trading like this. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have to wait for it. I'll add it here. Oh, we forgot to look at this one over here as well, guys. The low flow of the day. Let me bring this up. I think there we go. ENSC. So we do have this one. This is the low flow. It's looking very active at the moment. Kind of dying down a little bit here, but it does have 5.8 million shares traded. It is up 37%. It started off very nice here, kind of dying down a little bit. It's got to find some support and eventually start pushing higher for it to be a nice one this morning. So yeah, going back to Matt here. Yeah, just getting some volume here. Let's see how this pre-market action develops. Looks like something is breaking out here. Maybe some kind of news getting this going. We'll see. We'll put it as a possible here. Let's see where this goes. At the moment, great volume of 12%. Let's see where that takes us today. All right, what else do we have, guys? I think we're pretty much set. GM yesterday was very active, traded very well. this morning. I am not sure if it's going to do the same thing it did yesterday. Yesterday had an incredible day towards the downside. They usually don't trade like that. As you can see, they're daily very, very choppy for the most part. Up 2% right now, 784,000 shares traded. Could be decent, but I think what we have here looks a little bit better than that one. All right, Peter's coming in with his list. He's looking at AMD, AMC, Roku. Secondary list is going to be Uber, Wind, WYNN, and W. So two different ones. Win and W, which is what's W? That's what company is that? Wayfair? Is it Wayfair? Yeah, Wayfair. Okay, so Wayfair here is looking at that one. Brian is looking at Penn. Actually, let me bring this over. So Brian is looking at Penn, AMC, FSLY, MVIS, and FVRR. And Jared is just stealing Tiffany and Thor's list. So that's an easy way to get your list together, up and running very nicely there. So, all right, guys, I think we're pretty much set. Guys, thank you so much for joining the pre-market prep. Brian and Thor will be coming up live in a second here. So as they transition over, just be patient as it does take them a bit to get their systems fired up and running. So we'll get them over to you in just a second. If you haven't done so, guys, hit that thumbs up. Highly appreciate it. We did well yesterday with the likes. We got like 470. So thank you for that, guys. You'd be surprised how much that helps our channel here. So thank you for that. All right, and what do we have going on today? Today we have Thor's mentorship tonight at 8 p.m. So don't forget that, guys. 8 p.m. Thor's mentorship. He will be in the webinar room for the members. Definitely don't miss that. They are very, very, very good. Let's get something here. Over to get Thor to join us this morning. So that will be. Just looking for something, guys. Give me 1 second here. 6-5. There we go. All right, excellent. That's right. Thor is traveling today, so he'll be trading from his hotel room. 149 Andy. Yes, everything is recorded. All the live sessions that we do are recorded, just for that reason, right? It's 8 p.m. for you is 3 a.m. in the morning. 8 p.m. for us, 3 a.m. in the morning for you. So yeah, you definitely want to be up at that time. But yeah, everything's recorded. You can always catch it later at your convenience. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very good. And good morning, Thor. I see both of you guys are all fired up and good to go. I'm going to hop off,
good morning.
guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the chat.
Hey, good morning. You're looking pretty relaxed today.
Yeah,
Thor.
chilling out, hanging in the hotel room, vacation and all that.
Yeah, like that. All right.
Ooh.
I just don't know how you keep the kids quiet during this whole thing. Or did you rent a separate hotel room?
Yeah, we actually have a room. We have it's like got a middle area and then two different rooms. So one of the kids is in the middle room, the other one's in the third one, and then we've got our little spot over here. It works out real nice.
Awesome. Okay. Well, some interesting stuff going on today. I don't know what's it's fine. Notice Penn is down quite a bit. I don't know why it's not. Oh, there it is on the scanner. I didn't see it on the scanner there initially. It's really weak. It must. They didn't. Did they report? Penn. Yeah, they did report. Beat, and down. So there you go. Story of the earnings season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, SCR. I know I saw that one. They acquired SCR. Okay, so that's what it is. So that makes. Oh, that's right. Score. Now I remember. Yeah, Score is kind of flatlining right now. So our buddy AMC is bouncing a bit here. Glad I didn't take any hood home yesterday. Excuse me. All right, I'll be back in a sec.
So yeah, it looks like what are you guys all looking at today for the rest of you? I've got I'm looking at like FSLOI, MVIS. I noticed like AMD I found very interesting from yesterday. AMD climaxed yesterday at pretty good before selling off for most of the rest of the day. So I'll be looking at AMD to see if we've started our distribution phase yet on AMD. We've had such a big move up into the up into the 120s that I think it is possible we've finally hit that target for some of the bigger institutions to start rolling out some of those positions. So it'll be interesting to watch AMD. It could actually make AMD very choppy if that is the case. So keep an eye on that. Maybe get a pop at the open on it, and then it may start to chop and then just bleed off if that's true. Apple also has narrowing ranges, and SPY as well. So we got to keep an eye on these because these have been really choppy the past few days as the market's trying to kind of figure out. One thing I noticed, Brian, is there were some of the big banks have upgraded SPY's target up into like the upper 400s for the next few months. So it seems like the banks are expecting the market to continue on its bullish ways. So that'll be interesting.
I guess we'll wait for a bit of a pullback at the open. Hopefully we'll get some pullbacks. See, AMC is looking quite interesting right now. What the heck's going on here? There we go. AMD is pulling back a little bit today after this monster run, 6 days in a row up.
mRNA. I find mRNA a very challenging stock to trade. But I know it had earnings today. It already did a pretty good drop in the earlier after hours and then pre-market as it, some of that, and they've already bounced. We're already kind of making a rally on it, but that rally is on really light volume. So I will need to see mRNA open and see its spread tighten up a little bit, I think, for it to be traded. But right now it looks like it's just going to open up in mid-range. So we'll probably need to see it either rally or sell off a little bit before we can get enough information to decide if we want to trade it or not. But I mean, it's moving around. So I mean, obviously in play, it's got the earnings, so it should provide some opportunities. It's just tricky because of the spread and dollar amount.
Yeah, I don't know. IWM's really just continues to struggle. I mean, if we get a pop in interest rates, then I think that there could be an maybe the banks will do well. But right now, this environment, I was going to take AMC long.
Yeah.
Anyway, looks like it's going to go through 31 here. Yeah, AMC looks really kind of interesting here. I know this is might be stealing one of Jared's, our specialist, AMC specialist here, but well, Hood was available the next day. I was kind of surprised. I thought it, usually takes a little. No, that's not true. Options were available right away.
Yeah.
Um, as far as shorts go, it usually is. It's usually a couple weeks. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going by memory. I don't know exactly. I do know right now there isn't a lot of shares out there. So I think the cost to borrow shares, if you can find them on Hood right now, are somewhere around 40% on an annual basis. If you held it for a year, you'd pay 40% interest on those shares.
Yeah, I'll be
So
interested to see how Hood plays now that it's, I think its original price targets, Brian, was somewhere around 65. I think was
yeah,
where they were originally targeting it at. So it's made it, and it only took like a day to get there, 2 days to
yeah,
get there. But it's already there. So I'm curious in the meme world if they can continue to push this past it, or normally the way this works is it's mostly speculators that have got in now, and they're all going to hold, and then they'll start dumping, and then once it sells off, the longer term participants, and the institutions will actually start buying in once it gets to a discount. So it'll be interesting to see if there's enough interest in it to get the institutions to come in and buy here, which would be really, I think, pricey for them. So if not, it might just chop and then start to sell off. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch. Good case study on this one.
mm-hmm. Yeah. The correlation with interest rates, the IWM. There are a fair amount of regional sort of banks, and in the small cap Russell 2000. So the regional banks are certainly have more of a challenge when it comes to low interest rates, because they may basically make their money off the spreads between um, the net interest. So if the rates are really low, the regional banks have more challenges making money. Also, IWM is much more sensitive to activity, and I think there's a little bit of concern hanging out there right now with the new variant and all the rest of that. Um, you can see that reflected in the price of oil too. Probably, oil hasn't been performing very well. Again, a sort of gauge of economic activity or future economic activity. So um, I think you put that together and you've got the IWM be relatively choppy compared to some of the other big names. I'm going to add NVIDIA to my list of stocks to watch. I think this is on the verge of breaking out here. I'm definitely going to lose my shares at the end of the week here, unless I do something. I've got some 200 calls written against it. Yeah, Uber's down quite a bit. Lyft not so much, but hmm. I can, and I might do that. We'll see. I'll buy the calls. The problem is I've sold calls, so I'm minus on the calls, but long on the stock. So I've still made a decent amount of money on it. I can just roll the calls up basically. there's still a fair amount of premium in the calls, so I don't want to do that. On the other hand, if I wait too long, longer I wait, if the stock continues to go up, the calls get more expensive to buy back. Yeah, I'm looking at ZY I'm popping up here. I'm probably going to watch that. Yeah, I still keep the premium. That's right. So I'm like I said, I'm not. it's a. I don't know. I was going to say a win-win. It's not really a really win if I lose the shares, but I've just capped my upside plus the premium. I think I got $2.50 on it. Okay, so we get 2 minutes to the open here. Okay, I'm watching AMC. I'm watching IMVIZ. I'm watching Penn, FSLY. I've got a hood. I got a hood chart up and Fiverr, FVRR, and also NVIDIA. But ZY looks interesting. I might replace IMVIZ with ZY. Etsy. Etsy's looking kind of interesting too. There's a lot of stuff that looks kind of interesting here. Etsy looks like it could be a rising devil trade. SPY's popping up a bit here. 1 minute to the open. Good luck, everybody.
Absolutely. Good luck today, good sir.
Yeah, I think, I'm not staying away from it. There's a lot to watch here. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, so many tickers.
I know it's like one of these mornings where hopefully I'll follow the right one. Yeah, AMC still looks interesting. Here we go. Just long some AMC, and I got long some ZY. ZY's like it's making me nervous a bit.
I
So
gunned AMD right at the open. Partial. Yeah, there we
nice.
go.
Nice. Come on.
Ride the squeeze here.
Okay, I just sold a bit of some of my. I got a partial fill on ZY at 40. Sold some more. 1040. Oh, here we go. AMC. I'm long AMC as well. All right, just selling some more ZY here. Diddly doodly. Selling some AMC here. Oh, crap. Oh, ZY is halted. All right. Stuck in a halt here. I sold some AMC through 32. Some nice pops. Wow, look at Penn drop. Oof.
cut the rest of my AMD position at 417 there, starting to sell off. That was really nice. Got about 4R out of that pop. That was just awesome. But now it's selling like nuts.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm short some AMD calls right now, 125s.
There you go.
Yeah.
What a squeeze.
Yeah, sold them for $1. I'm gonna buy some back right now. 30 cents. While I'm waiting for Zscaler to, or ZY, I guess it is, to reopen here. I'm all out of AMC. Guys. Oh, hood's popping back up. I knew AMD Air Hood should say. I knew Hood was going to be in play. Look at this thing. It's just going to be a little less predictable. Let's say that today.
Long, a little apple.
Oh, look at Pen Rip. Whoa. Crazy.
Partial apple at VWAP.
We did not
Break
see
even.
that
If it
coming.
fails VWAP, I'm out.
Whew. It's Pen. Pen is just tearing it up.
Pen can
What a
get very
reversal.
aggressive.
What a
Pen gets
reversal on
very
that
aggressive.
one. Oh my gosh. Feeling like I want a short fiver, but I hate the spread on that.
AMD is nuts right now. AMD may actually get choppy, Brian. It might actually set a range here. If it's starting to distribute because of this high price, we actually could just get a lot of up and down quick movements, but in a range, as this thing just chops.
Well, I'm still waiting for this ZY to open. We had a really good day so far.
Yeah, me too, actually. I caught about a 4R pop on that AMD squeeze, and I've just got a couple R out of Apple. So I'm basically done for the morning already.
Yeah, that was a nice move.
Little hotel trading.
A little hotel.
Gotta love being a day trader. Very few jobs you can set up in your hotel room at 9 o'clock and hang out with some fun people and make some money.
Just shorted some F-Sly, Superfly.
Apple keeps getting stuffed off of VWAP, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it through here or not.
Okay, ZY's
Might be a
open here,
short.
baby. Thank you, Peter. I'm looking at FSLI right now. Still, I'm just covering some here. All right, on FSLI, and I'm selling some ZY at 12 filled.
Hey, Vic, for my travel setup, I'm using a MacBook Pro, and I'm using Parallels to emulate Windows on it, which works really, really well. So I can run DAS on Windows.
Just the fact that it was gapping down and it looked like it was popping up there, and it was a good time to go short. Popped up to the VWAP. It was a bit of
Cut
a.
my
I'm
Apple
going to say that.
position.
I'm going to say it was a bit of a risk. I would say it wasn't an A+ setup. Just going to cover some more here at 34.13 filled. Still got some ZY here. Ooh. Selling some through 13. Looking for a break of 34 here on FSLI. We are into a sort of support level.
All right, what else? I might be done.
Oh, AMC is sinking again. Huh. NVIDIA's just been choppy. Well, my thoughts on buying Hood, I don't know if I'd buy it right now. Don't really have don't feel like I have a only feel like I have a edge on that one. I did cover some more when we lost that 34 momentarily on FSLI. I'm not sure if ZY is done. I'm still holding a few shares left, but for the most part, I'm out now. We'll just see what it does here. Oh, FLGY. Is that a stock that's in play? Okay, I'm getting out of the rest of FSLI. It doesn't look like it's going to break down. A few shares left there. So ZY still kind of looking spicy here.
I'm watching Roku here for a possible short opportunity off of R3. It squeezed back to 400. Now looking a little weak on the level 2. Oh wow! All right, covering. Good move. I am short Roku.
Oh, nice.
That drop happened faster than I expected.
Yeah, it's moving up. Moving on up.
Playing R3, looking for an S3 traverse on this after the squeeze. Had the big drop after hours on the earning news. Spent pre-market and then the open squeezing back to 400. So I was kind of hoping this would be the line in the sand for it.
the 400 level.
Yeah, that $400 amount right at R3.
Maybe I should write some naked calls there. That would be a little risky, even for me.
After the day you had yesterday.
Oh, today has been really good too. ZY
Yeah,
has
I
been
tagged you on my Twitter yesterday. Just watched Brian on fire. This guy's gone.
Turn your camera off first. ZY is still just hanging around 12. The longer it stays here, the more gets me a little bit nervous that we may be sort of done here.
All right, got a good partial on Roku. I'm at break even now. This probably be my last position for the day.
Yeah, it just bounced off that R2 level, eh?
Yeah, following the rules for me today. That was very nice of it.
Mm-hmm.
How's YouTube Landia doing today? How are you guys doing over here?
Yeah, I'm gonna join you on that short. $394. See if we can get down to the view app at least. That'd be cool. AMD sliding. Which is good.
Hey, Gerald Nicholas. Yeah, AMD, man, that flush at the open on AMD was rough. Nice.
I'm looking. What I do is I do look at the. I look at the last few minutes. As I've mentioned before in the room to people, I always my initial watch list is always sort of a first pass or a draft, if you want to call it that. I always lock in my sort of watch list in the last 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm just looking for unusual moves like ZY was really starting to. That's why I just added ZY to my watch list. It just got really interesting in those last couple minutes as it was starting to pop up as we were getting close to the open. So I'm just kind of watching for unusual moves. I'm just going to cover some Roku here at 390, 390,
Yep, same here,
22.
VWAP.
Yeah,
Covering some of
390.44
VWAP there.
filled. Yeah. Nice call. Way to go.
Ha! I knew it. Haha.
Yeah, it did. I would have stopped out at sort of 395. I didn't take a big size. I don't know on this.
Yeah, look at that. There we go. There we go. Roku baby.
Yes, man. Oh,
Yeah. Here we
yes.
go.
I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Partial,
Oh
partial.
my God.
I'm going
Yep.
full Andrew on this one. Cover, 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 cover.
Yeah. 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 I'm covering here. 386. Yeah, Etsy's breaking out here. Diddly do.
Smooth.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to set the hard stop on ZY, 1160. Just I'm not going to watch it any longer. I mean, if it bounces and goes higher, or if it tails off, I'll just get stopped out. Oop, just got stopped out. That's okay. Had a really good entry. Yeah, it just it spent too much time trying to break out there, and I just kind of figured it was going to eventually roll over. It can go either way at that point. Pen bouncing off the VWAP here. You still have some Roku?
Yeah. I'm down to 10% now. So I took a big partial right above opening price. So I got a range set now. My entry is 397.36. So I got in pretty early, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go for a final out down near like 372 near S3. See if I can get a full traverse out of this thing. If not,
Yeah,
if it
you had a
rallies up, I'll
much
stop after the rest.
yeah, you had a much better entry than I did. That's why I really didn't take a large number of shares. So I'm I'm out of it right on that big drop. I just got out of the rest of it.
Nice.
That
Not a
was
lot, just a
nice.
couple
Good
thousand
one.
shares of Roku.
Yeah. All right. Just looking at pen here. I wish its spread on it is not great. It's those dark pools that are keeping the spreads wide on it. I was tempted to short it because it's just losing the VWAP here now. Really, it's just chasing right now, so I'm not gonna screw up my day. All right, thanks, Starbucks. Starbucks 20. Yeah, no, we've had some really good days. I mean, today was a really good day.
Hmm. Dude, we've
AMC
been
gave a
crushing
really
this
nice,
week.
yeah, totally. AMC gave a really nice pop at the open there. Yeah, ZY. As I said, the last couple minutes is when I really focus on my watch list and then see if there's anything else popping up. The reason I caught ZY was the scanners. The scanners were picking up new high bid or ask at getting close to the open. So that's why I popped it up, looked at it, and saw the interest picking up on it. As we were getting really close to the open. So I thought this is definitely looking like it might want to pop at the open. So I'm looking for those clues. Glad I didn't short pen. You got that big squeeze under the VWAP. AMD is sitting down at so yesterday's low, maybe.
I'm going to add into my short here on Roku at this loss of VWAP. My new average cost is $393.39. So if we go up through, if we squeeze back up, I'll stop out the rest of my position.
I'm wondering if Roku's just gonna chop around the VWAP now.
It may. So if it
Yeah.
comes up and stops me out, I'll exit and be done. It's, I was only rolling like 10% of my position. So now I've got twice as many shares as I did before, which is not a lot of shares.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
July 19th low was 391 and change.
Mm.
So we maybe I don't know. Maybe just start to hang in around that level. That's sort of fair value is around 393. AMC looks weak. Just shorted AMC 2960.
Oh, I just lost all those levels, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of was looking. It had that. Again, going into the open, it looked strong. That's why I took it to the long side. But really, it was a bit of a
Squeezed
dud
right
there
up to
after it
R4,
popped.
almost to the
Yep.
penny, up to R4,
Yeah.
and then rejected.
Yep. Yeah, I got rid of a lot of it through 32. Yeah, I think it's AMC is sitting at just below yesterday's close. If we go above yesterday's close, I'll get out. Again, I'm
Out the
reducing my
rest of
share
my
size.
Roku position.
ZY is sort of perking again here. It's percolating. Maybe we're going to get another pop here. I'll just cover a little bit of AMC here, covering a quarter of it. It's 29.41 filled. I'm just kind of hoping that we lose this 29 level. I know hope isn't a strategy, but yeah, FSLI is a dog's breakfast. Stay away. So is Pen. Pen is looking pretty ugly as well. Here we go. Here we go, AMC. All right, just covering some more here at 29. Oof, got a better fill, 28.99. Covering some more. It's going to bounce back up. Nice, Lou. Yeah, there's a short selling restriction on it. It's just you just got to put a limit order in and wait to get filled. The fortunate thing is it's so liquid and it's being so traded so heavily. It's popping up and down quite a bit, so it's not hard to get a fill on it. IWM is up to near high of day. So I'm going to see if I can get this down. See if I'm going to hold this and see if it can get down to well, maybe even 28. I'm just going to hold it. EMC.
I'm doing a little bit of a long here on MViz. I went long at 1440. Oh, wow. Look at that. Selling part of it at 1470.
Jared, are you saying I should be covering my short now? Okay, Jared's making me nervous. What is the pre-market low? It's back down here around S1, 28.57. You know, the problem is it's getting it's really extended from the 9 moving average. So I'm going to cover the rest here. I think it's going to bounce. Okay, so I'm all out of AMC. You know, it's probably going to bounce. It may bounce here and then sort of hit the VWAP, or it just may continue to go lower without me. SPY is still going up. It may get down to this S1 level, 28.60. But I'm looking for it to come back up to the 9 moving average, which is it's really extended from it. See, here's the bounce now, maybe.
I got a partial on MViz. I'm at break even at 1447. If it comes back through 1450, I'm out. Ladder's looking a little bullish, so I'm hoping to ride this break up through. Here we go. Boom, partial.
Oh, nice breakout on MViz, hey?
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, beauty.
So I don't know on Roku now. Roku did that big short that I caught, and now it's squeezed all the way back through, but it's on lower volume. So it really looks like it's a squeeze. So you basically have shorts that are covering, and they're causing themselves to get forced out of their own positions. You don't have a lot of bulls coming in here. I'm not seeing a ton of green on the larger tape. So it looks like a small bull rally with like a cover squeeze or something going on. So it's hard to know when these are going to stop. So it's going to make Roku a little difficult to play. You actually might have to wait like a half hour and let it set a range, sort itself out a bit, and then play whatever that break is. But right now, it'd be really tricky to gauge a good entry on Roku. All right, y'all. Well, Brian, buddy, it's 10, which is a little early for me, but I'm not going to take any more trades today, and it's vacation with the fam out here in Orlando, so I think I'm going to take off. and get started on that. But just want to
Good deal.
say shout out to everyone in YouTube land out there. Thanks for hanging with us. Please, if you don't mind, throw us a little like action, a little thumbs up. We really appreciate that. Otherwise, Brian, man, I don't know, this week, man, you and me,
Yeah,
we crushed it this
we've
week.
been killing it.
It was like
We
on
have
fire.
been We've absolutely been killing it, and appreciate you taking that bit of time from out of your vacation too. It's just I've always appreciated,
Hey, it's my pleasure.
because
My
I
pleasure.
know
Would
it's
never miss
not
an opportunity to trade with the prophet of profit, right? So
right on. Well, have a good rest of the day, whatever you're going to get up to.
yeah, you got it. Awesome. Have a good one. Talk to you
Well,
later,
hey,
everybody. See you, YouTube.
cheers. Have a good one, Thor. Good day, man. Thor, just killing it here on the Roku trade and MViz. Yeah, lots of trading opportunities here. Things are looking really good the last couple of days. Been making it look easier than it should be. The hood's losing it. Pen is going to go green on the day. It looked like it just got back up to that yesterday's close and rejected it. Now it's rejecting from yesterday's low. When it's a momentum trade like that, I mean, I look at it's really just a jump in and go trade. But I mean, yeah, I think what my stop loss have been, I would have just I almost it just started to move so fast. I just got in on an uptick, and stop loss, I guess I would have had to have been somewhere back around 10. I'm not seeing anything I'm crazy about trading. Here's AMC has come back to the 9 moving average, which is what I thought it would do after that sell off. So it was getting quite extended from the 9. So could be another reshort here with a stop at the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. Hello, Peter.
Morning, Brian. You're looking lonely over there. Thought I'd keep you company.
Thank you. I always appreciate the company. Hope everyone out on YouTube land there that's been watching us live. Just remember the feed is delayed, so you are seeing and hearing us. I don't know what it is, 10, 15 seconds later compared to being in the room.
All right.
I did have a question yet. Sorry, I was just going to say, we did have a question yesterday. I don't know if, and I mentioned it in the room at the close. I don't know if I answered it. at it, fully. I kind of started rambling and then um, didn't complete the thought. Someone had asked about being a full-time trader, switching over to a full-time trader, and I started rambling about having trading and having a job. But just completing the thought, there's no reason why you can't be a full-time trader, but to transition to that, I think that's where I was going with that whole point is really you should be doing it as a part-time job, and really building your confidence, uh, building your capital, and when you feel after maybe a year or two that you're consistently profitable, then then maybe you can consider transitioning to making it a full-time career. But you do not want to make money for a month and think, oh, I can be a full-time trader. I'm gonna quit my job and throw it all and be a trader, because you're putting an awful lot of pressure on yourself to perform once you commit to that. So
Yeah, that's the
that was
thing
yeah
people underestimate, right? Like in that 1 month, you might have done really well, but the pressure is orders of magnitude higher once you quit the job and now feel, now I have to succeed at this, right? Because I've just eliminated my
yeah
safety net. So
yeah.
yeah, Brian's right on.
So that was a thought I wanted to complete yesterday. Somebody had that question in the room. So yes, it's possible, but you really need to really spend a year or two trading and proving to yourself that you can actually be consistently profitable. And you have to always factor in the fact that there are going to be days where you're going to lose money, and is that really going to affect your mental health? Because you've got that rent payment at the end of the month, or whatever, your mortgage payment or whatever else. So you have to be aware of that as well. So that's it. Like I said, I didn't feel like I answered that question justice. So let's get back to
Yeah.
trading.
Yeah, well, that's all part of trading, Brian, and it's good advice.
Yeah.
People ask, sometimes people like the numbers. I would say until you've at least matched your annual salary for a year, don't even consider it. The caveat, or the big asterisk on that, is you got to bank that extra though, so that now you've got a 1 year buffer, right? Unless you've done that and you've proven that you can do it consistently over at least 12 months, don't get rid of the job. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. So
All right. So Viacom's popping up here. That's been just an absolute dog on a daily chart. Well, had a big down day yesterday. It's popping up. It's popping back up today. Just a horrible trading stock. AMC is still struggling at the 20 moving average here. Might be trying to put in a double bottom.
Joe, we do our best to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So
I think answered your question at kind of $1,000 per day is, I think, pretty optimistic for someone who's just about to go live. I'd be looking for 200 or 300 a day. If you're switching from sim to live, you really need to cut your share by size that you've been trading in sim. You need to cut it back, and then sort of gradually increase it. Because I think what you're going to find, and we can say this based on a lot of people that we've taken from sim to live. We can say that it's and anybody who's gone from sim to live will attest to it's a whole new ball game when you're risking your own money. Yeah, $500 a day still seems a little high to me, but
Oh, hey, better have it set high than too low. So
well, it's just the problem with having a goal is, yeah, just be careful, not to not to start taking trades just to hit your goal. Just be cognizant that you've built a trade book for a reason, and if you're looking at your P&L and you're trading for the first hour and a half of the day, and you're coming up on the end of the day, and you're only halfway towards your P&L. Don't you know? There's always that temptation to start taking trades that aren't in your playbook, or trades that maybe sort of C minus setups versus a nice A setup. So just be aware of that as well. Is that having a goal is great, but also having a goal can tempt you to make trades that don't fit. ZY is popping up here again.
just trying to trade here on Lift. Lift looks sort of toppy here. Stop is at high of day. It's a short trade. We'll see if I can get a drop. It's not. I should have watched it a little longer. The order flow is a little slower than I had anticipated. Covering some here. Oh, there we go. Got a nice little drop. That's good. Here's the drop I was looking for. There you go. Another partial quickly. Stop is a break even, which is 52 exactly, it seems. No, it's actually 51.9978. But anyways, I'm going to move it down here to 51.98, sorry.
AMC seems to be putting in a bottom here. Nice trade off that top, Peter. Yeah, perfect breakthrough 52. The only thing I'd be concerned about is, strong stock. This may just be a pullback. So
Yeah.
you've taken a partial, very, very appropriate. But again, it's always shorting stocks that have been strong tend to be quite often you'll get a bounce back like it's happening right now. Didn't even get to the 9 moving average there.
Right, exactly. So, so sometimes you get the big strong move or the weak move, if you want to look at it that way, that drops you all the way to VWAP. But you're right, Brian. I mean, I could equally get stopped at back, here at 52 if it pops up. So we'll see what happens. I'm seeing on the bid side, there's a good order size of 51.60 that I'm hoping it's going to go get. But there's not much else going on here. This is a little,
Just
like I said, the order flow is a little slower than I expected. So,
looking at pen right now, this pullback here, it's bouncing off the 9, or it's hitting the 9 right now.
oh, look at that. I was watching Penn earlier at VWAP, and it was just chopping along there. Now it's, look at that, moved back up, high a day.
If it gets down to under 65, I was looking for a bit more of a pullback there to get long. It just bounced right off the 9 moving average.
Oh, thanks, Carlos.
William, where's Lyft? Lift's still
On,
hanging
on
in there.
Lyft, really, it set a high of day and then it set a lower high. It just looked like it was, struggling to hold those levels. I didn't watch it for very long, unfortunately. I just got stopped out, by the way. So that's okay. Quick partial and then a stop out. Like Brian said, sometimes you don't get much of a move, and it could go up and put a new high in. But what I failed to do is I had just flipped to it because I had it on one of my secondary charts. I wasn't watching the time and sales. Had I seen how slow the orders were processing, I probably wouldn't have taken it because it just wasn't enough order flow to cause that panic drop that I was really trying to capitalize on. So that's all right.
Yeah.
We're out of that.
So possible 920 trade on Penn.
And I just don't
The only
like the
the only
price
thing that's
action.
well, exactly, and that's why I'm hesitating taking this trade on 920. It's just has not been a sort of a clean. With
Yeah.
a 920 trade, you want a nice clean up move, and then you take that pullback to the 20 moving average. But Penn has not been trading very cleanly, so that's
The
why I didn't take it.
the spread, Brian, is also jumping between sort of 5 and 20 cents. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like that big spread either. Seems to be pushing through the 20 right now. Anyways, all right. So Lyft is now testing the high of day. I was actually watching, to be honest, on Lyft. I was actually watching Uber because Uber is the one that had its earnings today, and because Uber was just sort of slowly leaking down, but it wasn't doing much. So I thought I'd check Lyft. That's the only reason why it came onto my radar because Uber was the one that's actually in play, and I sort of liked how Lyft looked better, but as it turns out, that was a very short-lived trade. All right, let's find something else. AMD. I've still got some shares short on AMD, but I'm just hanging on to it. I was hoping for a new low of day. We'll see if it gets there. I have so few shares left.
F Sly is squeezing here a bit.
F slide, don't bother me.
Fly, Sly, Superfly.
Fastly. It's that chart is pretty ugly, Brian. That's
Yeah, well, the 2 minute I'm looking at is kind of it's trying to. It looked like it was going to try to squeeze higher here. Yeah, ZY is just sort of creeping up here too. It's probably going to go back through 13 if you give it enough time here. What's the time and sales look like? Yeah.
it's funny, Jared. I just looking at your question here. What does make sense mean to you? It's sometimes I feel like when we're talking to our members, they must think we're
Just
practicing
long
in the
SZY. Oh, yes. Sorry.
It's all right.
Just got long ZY at 1390 or 1290, I
Oh,
should say.
man.
Yeah, I
Look
could
at
see it.
that.
I could see it start to warm up there. Just selling some here. 33, 1333.
Nice read on the pop there. That's
Yeah. Yeah, CPT, that was it, baby. Nice nice little pop there. Yeah, you could just see it starting to warrant the time and sales starting to pick up.
interesting. Very weird.
And it was
Very weird.
just selling some more here, 1340, 1338 filled. Okay, I'm gonna hold the rest. If we get back down to 13, I'm just gonna set a stop 1302. Okay, so we'll let her ride. Let it ride. AMC back to yesterday's high.
So
Look at that bounce. That pen got a nice little bounce there off the kind of off the VWAP. Oh, there goes Superfly. Superfly's popping. So let's see if we can get to 14 here on ZY. It's probably going to get close and then do a bit of a pullback. Nice. Nice, bro. Way to go. Yeah, it definitely looked like it was putting in a bottom there. So you had a really good possible entry. Okay, here we go. ZY. ZY. Z. Oh, good. Yeah, nice. That's why you've got a trade book. And that's the power of being in a chat room, because I take you can't watch all the charts all the time, and I caught a nice little couple dollar trade on Roku thanks to Thor.
Yeah, I admired you guys in that Roku when I looked at it, but the spread was like $1.50, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
that's the challenge, and that's why I typically don't trade. I really don't. I don't like to trade stocks that are $300 or $400. They can move a lot. Okay, here we go. Are we going to get 14 here?
Wow.
Come on.
Nice move on ZY.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Kidding.
Slip. Here we go. Come on. You gonna tease me? There's 21,000 shares at 14. So there is a bit of a big ask here. Big ask. Still.
AMC. I saw AMC at the bottom there around 10, 10:07, 10:08. I was watching it, but it was so flat that I didn't trust the move back up. I should have had more faith. Well, Fiona, I'm short AMD, so I'm hoping that it's going to go down.
All right. Well, I sold some shares here. There you go. Sold some at $13.95. Still got a few left.
Scott, on AMC. Yeah, that's sort of why I was watching it, because it did sort of give me most of the signatures for a mountain pass, but I don't know why I hesitated. It just it wasn't convincing me, but obviously I was wrong. My camera is acting weird.
Oh, ZY.
Wow. I'm jealous of that trade.
Yeah, it's been a moneymaker today.
Romo.
Apple putting in a 920. Let's take a boo at that. Viacom's been quite nice, steady mover. This is the kind of stock you like to see if it's on a 920 trade. Nice smooth move up, and then it gets to about this time of day, and then you have that pullback, which you can trade off of. Let's see what we got here on Apple. Yeah, definitely it bounced off. Did kind of bounce off the 9. The problem with this is it's the 9 and the 20 are so tight. If you look at Viacom, if we did get a nice pullback here, that could be 40 cents to trade off of. And the Viacom chart is just, on a daily, the 2-minute chart is just clean. It's nice and clean. Apple's been a little bit choppy. A couple times it's lost a 9, come back.
Viacom
But
is. Look at that. But you know what, Brian? The problem with Viacom, I mean, if you look at the daily chart, I probably would have looked at it and said, "Yeah, it's not doing."
Yeah, it's horrible. I tried to take that I tried to take a day swing trade on that at one point. It was kind of thought it had some potential.
Viacom is I think you have to be patient for a long period of time because I'm looking back and look at the price action yesterday and on Tuesday. They're both like just horribly choppy all day. So this is a beautiful move today, but how do you know to watch it? There's only so many things. Anyways, if somebody got it, all power to you then.
Yeah, no, it was a nice trade. I know there was a few people in the room that did trade it. Look at Penn is going right past high a day here.
Yeah. Did you end up taking that reversal?
No.
Okay. No.
It lost the 20 just because it was so choppy and spread like we were saying was so bad. And it did drop below the 9, but and the 20, but it did find support at the View app, which would have been the next place to take 7:30, Peter.
That's my 10:30 market time
Or 10:30.
alarm. It tells me normally this is I call it my change of direction alarm. So this is often when things either set up a range for the day and start to move in that direction, or they just sort of reverse. So
it's a changing of the guard.
Yeah, sort of. Because I mean, just in case I find sometimes I get really focused on the open trades, and it's just a reminder. Right now, things tend to slow down a little bit. The excitement of the open volume tends to wear off, and it may not be 10:30. Sometimes it's 10:05. Sometimes it's 11. But it's just a point in time reminder. Penn is still going up here.
Yeah, it's ripping. It's going to the yesterday's high was just under 68. So expect some resistance there.
Uber and Lyft are also pushing up right now. Come on, AMD. You're just chopping around here. Make a decision.
Just picked up some more shares of ZY at 1377.
Oh, you're getting aggressive on this now, eh? You think it's going higher?
I think so.
I couldn't find any news on it. Do you know why it's moving? Like, what's driving it?
I don't know. It gapped down a lot. It seemed to gap. Did it? I don't know. It's been. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, Chris, I got lucky. I was gauging AMD as a short today because of the way it came into the open, and I got a short and then got stopped out. Then I got another short that I'm still holding on to. So I'm sort of lucky here to be short with an excellent entry that I can just afford to hang on for a long time now. Well, and we were talking about my relationship with AMD, and I appreciate all the concern that you guys sent my way and support. It was very kind.
Oh, is that right, Gene? Kathy Wood bought 2.5 million ZY. Okay, I'm going to sell some here. 1340. Ooh, nice little
14.
pop. 1350.
Oh yeah, 1450. Look at you. All right. Anyways, but AMD, I'll still watch it, and it felt a little more tradable to me today. So jumped in short. 1720 is my current short entry. So as you can see, I've got a ton of room here on this to just let it go. But I'm almost out of shares. So
Okay, let's see if we can get to 16 on ZY. 15.
yeah.
AMD
Yeah.
just lost yesterday's low. I think was
Yeah,
that yesterday's low?
I'm not sure. Yes, I guess it is. There's a big order sitting at 114.11. I'm hoping we get down to that. That's what I'm looking for. Or ideally the whole dollar. Hoping to see people start to line up on the bid side, encouraging this AMD lower.
Yeah. As I mentioned, I sold some calls yesterday. I was tempted to do the 120s, but I went further out in price at 125 because the premium was still not bad there. So I think I'm pretty safe at
Yes.
125.
Yes. There we go. All right, partial on AMD. Beauty.
Keep shorting AMD, Peter. That's what I need. Get it further away from that 125 strike.
That's right. You said those were naked. You said, right?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Like I said, as I said, I was tempted to do the 120s when it did that big spike yesterday. I just figured it was just, it's just run way too far, too fast. It's got to pull back. That's the theory, anyway. Sometimes
Swung
sometimes
too close
the
to the
market can
sun,
be.
AMD.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is sometimes the market can be wrong longer than you can be solvent. So.
Yeah.
So that's. Do I think? I don't know. Oh, energy's. This money's just rotating in and out of things like crazy. Energy's down, now it's up. Financials seem to be catching a bid today. What's the
Thanks
dollar doing?
everybody
The dollar's flat.
for your support on YouTube. We appreciate you guys being out there.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it reasonable too. We got a couple people who are spamming us, but we've taken care of that. But hopefully you'll consider joining us in the room. We actually trade live again all day. We've got different moderators. Brian and I tend to come back for the close, but in the midday you've got Eamon, you've got Brian, you've got John, you've got Thor, who's usually on at 1. Got all sorts of people and lots of different points of view and education that happens every day. So consider joining us here in the room. You can do it with a trial, if you just want to try it out, see if it's for you, use the code premarket24, $24. That's it for 1 week. A better deal
There
can't
you
be
go.
found. There you
No.
go. Premarket24 is the code. Just use that, and you get our introduction class, which happens on Monday, the onboarding class, and then you can join all week. But if you want access to all of our training material and everything we've got, then join as an elite member. You can use the code SUMMER40 for a 40% discount.
Yeah. Audio's
Yeah.
choppy. No, I don't. I'm hearing Peter just fine. But we will be dropping off of YouTube and going live in the room, so hopefully that'll take care of it.
Indeed.
But
Well, thanks
again,
everybody
thank you.
for being out there on
Thank you,
YouTube.
everyone. Yeah. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. We got lots of it yesterday, and hopefully we can get even more today. So look at Pen Rip. Wow. All right, guys. Have a good rest of the day, and everyone in the room, give us a minute. We'll transition over.
Indeed.